cartwheel by Tom Loomis, the other son-in-law of the happy couple, Edna Roberts and Alan Herzberg. Okay, and now Abby Loomis, a granddaughter, is going to do a somersault. Excellent! Excellent! Abby Loomis's mother, Deborah Herzberg Loomis, is now going to do, is it a cartwheel? A cartwheel. Fantastic! Fantastic! Her backup cartwheel was performed by Sam Loomis. And now Becky Adler, in a miniskirt, is now going to do a cartwheel. Do you want to take your thongs off first? Excellent! Excellent! Sorry. It's Alan Forrest Herzberg III, Dean of the Grandchildren, juggling 3 dissimilar objects. No, he's juggling 3 things. No, the third one is very hard to see. Juggling a dime is unheard of in Clanton, Alabama. People do balls, oranges, pears. No one does dimes. Rumor has it the dime got dropped. Okay.
Okay, Tommy, I gotta go take this stuff.
Here is the 5th and final grandchild of Edna and Alan doing his cartwheel, Eric Adler. Eric? Fabulous, fabulous. We're now going to move on in and meet some of the other relatives. This is Jim Herzberg, one of the 4 children of Edna and Alan. He's a lawyer in Houston. He's here to join us. He doesn't really want to pretend like he knows us. He claims he doesn't know how to do a cartwheel, but we're real happy he's here anyway. We're going to move over towards serious family members now. We'll try to find the bride and groom first and work from them. What good luck to be here at a reunion. Let me see. I'm going to need a little help with these people. Hi. I'm Ann. I'm Edna's daughter.
Oh, I'm glad to know you. I'm Martha Whiteside.
Martha Evans.
Yeah.
Right, Central High School, 1931.
Right. That's right.
Okay, well, we're from Moline, Illinois.
Yes, I know.
Well, you'll be able to understand us.
Yeah.
Steve works at the hospital there. That's what he does as a hobby. This is his profession. This is my cousin. She just moved from Lumberton to Hattiesburg.
This is the last of the...
Utterly ridiculous. This is three-dimensional. This is Susan's aunt, Myrtle Jane.
Hi.
Wingo Hass.
That's right, Ann. How you doing?
I'm
Good to
fine.
see you. You've done a good job.
Oh, listen, thank you very much for everything. We were going to have a... Oh, gee, we forgot to ask Martha and Tom. Do you have any advice for the couple?
I have a special Bible verse that says, Lord, show me the way out of the land of forgetfulness. But my friends say, no, we need... Yeah, that's it. That's what we need.
That's right.
Out of the way. Show me the way out.
Out of the land.
See, I've already forgotten.
Well, it's hard to remember. Okay. We're going to get the people on the edge because they can move more quickly than the people in chairs. This is Ann Allen, right?
Right.
Standing between Ann and Alan.
Hi.
This is Alan. You are not doing cartwheels in front of the sign with the rest of us. Do you want to make a special trip out? Alan's recovery is coming along real well.
We're trying to measure the amount of heat.
Mary Helen's here. I'm sorry, we'll be right back. We were out by the pool and we were temporarily interrupted. Okay. We appreciate your candor. Now we have to find out what's going on behind the scenes in room 132, where the anniversary couple is staying.
Well, I'm leaving. You know, Michael McRoberts lives in Glastonbury.
Here's the bride over here. We've already talked to one of her bridesmaids, Martha Evans, from Calumet City, Illinois. But as long as you put the zip code on it, it gets there, right?
True.
We've been asking people if they have advice for the happy couple for the next 50 years.
What did they say?
You'll see it on the film.
Oh, I see.
Do you have any advice for the happy couple?
Yes, I guess the best policy. For 50 years, I've often lost my voice, and that's probably what saved our marriage.
Okay, I think that's excellent. I'm turning off now, and we'll be walking out by the pool.
Wait, get me on the air, please.
This is one of my cousins from Bay St. Louis.
Mike.
Right, Hass and Hass. Oh, I thought you were Michael and your dad was Mike.
Well, either one.
Okay.
Liz?
Okay, and Jennifer is nowhere to be seen.
Jennifer is a working girl.
Okay. Will she be sending us a portion of earnings? Okay. We've gone 3 for 6 on this family. We have 2 more possibilities. Okay. No. always charming. I think you're the person who can answer the question of the hour best.
All right.
Look at the cameraman and tell your advice for the happy couple for the next 50 years. What do you suggest?
What do I suggest for
For the
what?
next, nothing specific.
Well,
You all could have been the furthest.
who are you?
I'm your godmother. Don't you remember the religious pamphlets and everything? He's always been difficult. You should have seen the confirmation problems I had with him. What about the next 50 years? Do you have any advice?
Wife swapping?
Oh, we haven't heard that one before. Oh gosh, better look into that religious upbringing again. Why don't we see about the kids? Listen, good talking to you.
Nice morbid. I'll see you in another 15 years.
Do you know that I'm Ann?
Yeah.
How are you?
You are.
This is my Aunt Mary Helene. Oh, I sure do. Oh, I sure do. Thank you.
Look at this.
That's good. And she looks like she might be another lawyer. She just doesn't say stuff off the top of her head, does she? Yeah. I didn't talk till I was 4.
Oh, come on.
I don't want to frighten you.
So how old is your dad now?
This is on film. Excuse me, I have to turn off for a second. Do you have some advice for the couple? The next 50 years, something like that?
Not really.
How you doing?
I'm fine. This is a nice lady who wants me just to go on, so I'll just tell you who she is, and then we'll sneak up on her when she isn't watching. This is my Aunt Gladys. She's a fine lady. And she's been married more than 50 years, which is hard to believe that they let her get married at 11, but they did. It was the Virgin Islands. That's right, they let them get married early there. I'm going to surprise him by knowing that he's Jeremy and not Jason, right? Okay. I wanted to ask you, are you the first twin? I thought so, because usually the older twin's a little smaller, but also probably much smarter, right?
I've got some of the.
He's talking, so we'll catch him later.
That's right. I think you're going to be interviewed here.
You're Margaret Peg Houchins.
Right. The last time I saw you, you were about 6 months old.
Do you see the resemblance?
No.
Well, we heard that it was hard to get an interview with you without a drink and a cigarette. It's Ann, and over there is Steve. And,
Where's Steve?
well, he's
I
behind.
can't see that far.
That's right. He's wearing sort of a bikini brief,
Oh, my goodness.
kind of a floral Hawaiian shirt.
Oh,
He's about
yeah.
ready to dive off the diving board.
Oh.
Okay, this is my Aunt Myrtle, and one of the most memories I have of my childhood was when she had to take care of my brother Alan and my cousin Henry, and she put them up in a fairly empty attic with 2 cans of shaving cream and just let them go at it.
Yeah, I sure did do that.
And trapped.
Trapped, yes.
Is her daughter Pat. Pat Wingo Spencer, a great fan of Elvis.
Oh, yes.
I've already talked to Jeremy, and I knew it was Jeremy, not Jason. And I thought about it this afternoon. I figured out he was the first twin,
Yeah.
because the first twin's usually a little smaller than the second twin. That's right. They have to do everything first. Hi. I'm fine.
How are you?
That still doesn't get you out
So
of an interview.
slim, I noticed.
Well, the part that's huggable.
Hi, Mom.
This is my cousin Henry.
Is this Adler? I mean, is this the guy?
This is him.
Gee, he's gotten
This is-
older. Gray hair, I see.
Older and even funnier and better.
Does he still run?
He
Or
still
does
runs?
he kind of walk a little now? He's more into walking.
Right.
Good. I am too. I'm into eating right now.
Right.
You seen the baby?
No, I
Catherine?
haven't. Is she up in the room?
She is. She's
Okay.
sleeping, but she'll...
We'll catch everybody around here, and then we'll run up and wake her up. Good to have you all here, and I won't wake up baby Catherine. That'll be my gift to the family. This is Jason. He's the younger twin. The taller twin. An individual in his own right. But now he wants to go over and sit by his brother Jeremy.
I'm Alan Herzberg, born 1913, Denver, Colorado, and the rest I don't think you're much interested in, except now it's my 50th wedding anniversary.
Right.
And I love all these people we're getting here. There's nothing better than that. I don't want to have another 50th, but I do appreciate getting together with all these nice people. I'd like to introduce here Barney Hopkins, who is, well, you don't like to be listed as a husband.
I'm the husband. Yeah, I sure do. I sure do,
all
because
right.
she's a lovely lady.
He's the husband of Peggy Colvin or Peggy Barney.
Houchins, yeah.
Houchins now, pardon me. I get confused with these names here.
And she was the bridesmaid
And they
at
are...
the wedding at West Point.
Yeah, Peggy was the bridesmaid of Anne, of Edna at the wedding. And they live in Colorado at Greeley, Colorado.
Came down here just for this event.
Yeah.
That is devotion. They also came the furthest distance.
Oh, is that right?
Right, that's right.
And for that, I get another scotch and soda.
Do you want to be Uncle Raymond?
Uncle Brooks, they don't know me by Raymond anymore, do they?
Okay. He would like to be Uncle Raymond, but he fears that no one would recognize him.
That's correct.
That's right.
I'm glad Becky could be here.
Oh, Becky is thrilled. She said, there's nobody here for me.
Yeah.
We lived very happily with 11 unpacked boxes for 4 years.
Is that right?
We had no idea what we were taking.
Great.
I'm going to sacrifice to my calling and not enter the contest, even though I know I would be an easy winner, especially because that's my younger brother judging the contest, and he's still susceptible to undue influence. How are we going to do it? Just Jim decides, and then we push him in the pool? There's a legs contest going over here. Do you think we should put you or Buck in it?
Oh, what?
Why are Norman's children disappearing when we said legs contest?
Who is you?
Yes.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Anne. I'm Edna's daughter, the older twin.
Yeah, I knew who you were.
Do you have any advice for the couple? Okay, okay. Is that her, the pink and white stripe?
Right, with the hole over the belly button.
Oh,
That's
she's
her.
beautiful. Do you know my brother Alan Hersberg?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was going to try and give you a hook to hang it on. Your grandfather is my Uncle Buck, and his sister is my mother. Okay, so you're my second cousin.
See, in Plano, they have two high schools. One for the 9th and 10th graders, and one for the 10th and 11th graders.
So which are you in? Which one are you in?
I'm in Plano East Senior High.
And that's junior, senior.
That's senior, yeah, junior, seniors.
And okay, sophomore?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you're 15?
14.
14. You're a nice, healthy boy. 14 years old. Can you believe it? Just basketball? Yeah, that's good sport. What did you think of the recent NBA? Were you rooting for the Lakers or the Pistons?
It wasn't really real because Magic Johnson and Byron Scott got hurt.
Yeah.
Next year we'll have a real one.
Do I detect a certain favoritism for Lakers?
Yeah, we like the
Yeah,
Lakers.
okay. Yeah, I agree. Are you sorry to see Kareem go? Or?
Nope. No, they need a new center in there. He's too old and slow.
Yeah. But he is magnificent for his
Yeah.
age. Right.
He is pretty good.
You'll be a senior.
I'll be a senior.
You'll
I'll
be a
freshman.
Okay, they go to two different high schools in Plano. It's too difficult for me to understand. Hunter belongs to Bud and Nancy Hall. He's almost 10 years old. He's a very sweet dog. He gets bathed twice a week. This is Myrtle Jane trying to leave with some Holiday Inn plates and glasses. They've been able to equip their entire dining room with Holiday Inn things. That's right. She's very bitter about the legs contest. She organized it solely for the purpose of winning it.
The only thing I wondered is why your parents picked my birthday to get married on.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
Tomorrow's your birthday?
No, today's my birthday. Oh, I thought today was the day.
So the real day is the 13th.
Oh, is that
Today's
right?
your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, well, thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
Sam Loomis, Abby Loomis, and Rachel Roberts. That's Norman's granddaughter. I can't believe it. Norman is younger than I am, but I'm not going to say a word about it. Hi, Ann. Your dad wanted us to see how much Catherine resembles him. He said she was a beautiful baby. It was very easy for her to take the mic. She was very comfortable doing that. You're as pretty as Becky said you were. Yes, you are. And you're real easygoing, I heard. I was going to come wake you up from your nap and see how easygoing you were, but then I talked to Henry and we decided not to do that. She has survived 3 older brothers and an upbringing in Lumberton, Mississippi. They now feel that she's at the point where she can go to Hattiesburg and conquer Hattiesburg. Lumberton is not big enough for her. Were you going out for cheerleading or plays or just mostly grubbing and getting really good grades? She is one of the few people that I can understand without straining. And she's one of the few people who doesn't think I talk funny.
That's right.
She's from St. Louis.
How many times over the last few years have y'all actually watched the tape that y'all took the last time you were here? I mean,
Is it like on a weekly basis or?
Well, it
More
starts
regular
out
than that?
daily. It's like children, the daily picture. The daily viewing, then the weekly viewing, the monthly viewing, and then, back toward the end of the show.
Then you watch it the day before you come to the reunion so you can remember everybody's name and stuff. That's
Really,
a good
it's
trick.
not a bad idea. Marvelous
This is
to
Jane
be
Roberts.
the last and the best.
And you are still working with premature babies and their
Right.
adjustment afterwards and
Right,
the research
yes.
at Sacred Heart
Heart
Hospital. We drove
Right.
past your hospital, your house, and Henry's church.
Well, great.
Yeah.
You come back and we'll visit, right?
Well, you have a very busy lifestyle.
Well, I want you to come back.
Okay.
I have nothing to say. I just wanted to have one Juliet shot. This is Betty Edwards. Okay?
Oh.
She wants you to remember that she'd like a copy of the
Yeah,
tape.
okay.
You still live in Boca Raton? Or do I have the city wrong?
No.
I'm sorry.
Bel Air Bluffs, Florida.
Okay, Bel Air Bluffs, Florida. Okay.
This is Bill Edwards. Lived down the street from the Robertses, as I know the story.
Yeah. Was one of the.
And Lila. Are you the senior?
Lila?
Or do you,
I met.
You're
I'm the oldest Lila. Is that your name?
oh, I'm sorry. That's our family calls you that.
Alan Hersberg, who's in charge of the hospitality suite, has donated all the refreshments, which we will be seeing shortly.
Donated?
This is his son, Alan III. Intimates call him A3. He's really John F. Kennedy, but we're telling everybody he's Alan III. This is Eric Adler, who's going to try and take his favorite cousin in a baseball trade as soon as we leave the room. Okay. This is the inner sanctum. These are the sumptuous refreshments of the hospitality suite. Unsalted cashews, an eye toward good health. And in here, 3 varieties of soft drinks. Classic Coke, Mountain Dew appears to all be gone, and then a special yellow soft drink. She has some beautiful granddaughters here. You've already gotten Lila and Monk. Also have beautiful daughters here. That's a beautiful flag arrangement. There's a flag there from each state that someone's coming from to the reunion. She's 16, going on 18. Liz Hass from Bay St. Louis. You know Becky? This is Heather Smith. This is Aaron McRoberts. Okay. That's Jeremy Smith. And over that side is Jason Smith. The lady with the visor is the organizer, coordinator of the pub. Any questions, refer them to her. Myrtle Jane, known as Myrt as an adult. In the red bathing suit, Catherine Doliak.
What?
Catherine, would you wave to the camera, please?
Catherine.
Okay. This is Susan Roberts from Memphis, Tennessee, and that's her sister Jamie. You have David McRoberts.
Hi.
This is Cynthia Holmes in the purple.
Yep.
Mother of the banker, right? Mike Cass, an attorney from Bay St. Louis, a good man to know. Getting told this is Laura Cass trying to hide her head.
his daughter.
That's right. That's her. Over here is Bill Holmes.
Yep.
I met your
We've been.
That's right. And Pat Spencer, the grandmother of Jason, Jeremy, and Heather. That's right. This is Ronnie Doliak. Right. I have no idea what he does.
I'm an attorney in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna have to come closer. We can't hear, I don't think.
Okay.
All right, we got him.
Chad and Mark Doliak.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
him.
Wait, no, that's Ab Payne.
Yeah, we got him.
That's Chad Doliak. That's Mark Doliak.
Okay.
Henry Roberts. He will be handling all ethical and moral problems. This is Rebecca Roberts.
That's Rebecca, that is the youngest.
And carrying the heavy suitcase is his wife Jane. Henry will be out there for the overnight bag soon. Oh, look who just came. Hi, Jane. Hillary.
Hello. You made it.
Good
to see you. Hesitate to step through this documentary. I'm Henry Roberts. Oh, we go together.
Hi. Oh, look who just came. Hi, Jane. Hillary.
Hello. You made it. Good to see you. Hesitate to step through this documentary. I'm Henry Roberts. Oh, we go together.
Hi. Come here. Where's Marty? Jane Roberts.
What you calling?
Nice blend. I looked up and I saw Power.
Ask David. He'll know. David, what's your mother's room number?
Oh, she said 2 words.
This is Mike Cass Jr. He likes to be called Junior.
Junior.
Alan Doliak.
Hi.
Barbara from St. Louis. Only person I can understand.
Thank you.
That's right.
Next reunion, y'all can go back and look at this tape, and then y'all say, "Aha! Now we've got our museum."
Patty, what's your last name?
Paul.
Paul. From
Hello.
California. What part of California?
Los Angeles.
Los
All
Angeles
right.
area.
Uh-oh.
Nancy Hall.
Hi.
Jim Roberts, Memphis, Tennessee. third place in the New York Marathon,
Would you like?
1984.
You're not the first victim.
Okay. He was the architect of Mom and Dad's Lake House.
All right. Nice plans. We feel grateful to you every time we use it.
Well, I tell you, anytime you want one of them, I'll scratch one up.
He and his wife have a dream house, and she did the interior design. Is that right? She plays violin and piano, and she dances on her toes, and she wants to be an actress when she grows up.
You're in mid-America now.
That's right.
You moved from California.
Right. We're in Moline, Illinois, on the banks of the Mississippi.
Moline. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm relatives from Illinois.
Nixon.
Oh, you're very close.
Yeah.
Their age.
That's it.
If you're being photographed from the wrong side.
That's the only reason I haven't been in the movies. Because I've never had the right agent. Well, that old tea is refreshing.
You know what? I think they're taping you putting the lotion on Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
That's sporting.
Well, I
This
thought
morning
Edna
I made a
Allen
gallon.
looked exceptionally well.
It's still out there. Still making.
I'm 56 inches. How many feet would that make? 4'8"? 4'8"! I guessed right! I knew I was 4'8".
Good.
Because my friend was 4'7".
What was 4'7"?
My friend was 4'7". She was almost as tall as I was.
Who measured you?
Grandpappy.
Grandpapa.
Do you know that Becky, who will probably be 5'7" when she's grown, is below the middle of the class in gym order?
With us this morning are two people, Gaina Staldman and Ann Herzberg Adler, who are both from Council of Children at Risk.
It's a not-for-profit organization. It serves Rock Island and Scott County, and its purpose is to get rid of child abuse.
Okay.
It's been around since about 1976, and incorporated since then, and changing all the time to serve the needs in this area. It was occurring in different places in the United States, but it did spring up within this community in a spontaneous form. People were finding a need to coordinate the efforts of various agencies, because families who have a pattern of abuse often are being served by different agencies, and that was the impetus to get things started.
The council's made up of community members, members from the community, and it's funded by the United Way. I think that's
United Way, private donations, and we're also the Quad City chapter for the National Committee for the Prevention of Child Abuse.
Okay.
I'm on the board. This will be my 9th year on the board. There was a 2-year hiatus, a bylaw hiatus, and I'm back again.
Okay.
So I'm recycled.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
It was easy to come back to because I enjoy the idea that if we really can do something, we can stop the cycle of child abuse, because child abusers breed child abusers who breed child abusers. Okay. People often ask, what are the conditions, what kinds of ingredients do you need for child abuse? And there's simply an adult, a child, and a crisis. But if the adult was abused as a child, which almost 100% of child abusers were, that's a very potent ingredient.
Oh, really?
That's when you look at different people under the same kinds of stress, and some people can roll with it, and some people
just really cannot do that.
Can't take any amount of stress. And then the child has to be perceived by the parent as different. Sometimes if the child were the result of an unwanted pregnancy or a difficult birth, you can see how that perception would happen. But the child could as easily look like a child in a commercial on TV, a beautiful child, but it reminds the parent of someone that abused them when they were young. And so that child's perceived as different. And the crisis isn't anything that most people would necessarily call a crisis. It could be the car breaking down, which isn't fun, but most people don't abuse their children when the car breaks down. Yeah, and so those are the 3 ingredients. It's completely anonymous. You don't have to give your name, and it's 24 hours a day. And I don't know many people I can call at 3 in the morning and not have to give a fairly good explanation in a few days.
Why are you calling at 3 in the morning?
Okay. Yeah, we have the phone number.
In the area of prevention, the public education through the Speakers Bureau, and we have workshops for professionals and media. We do have 8 paid staff members, but we rely very heavily on our volunteers as well. The helpline is the main thrust, but then we have things like we develop the resource of the network, which lists all the parenting groups available to parents. And if you want to improve your skills, or if you need to find a group of parents who have children perhaps with a similar problem or just a similar age group, the network is a resource that we've developed for that. We have some other areas we work in. We have treatment teams, and we're working very hard to involve the community in preventing child abuse. We service Scott and Rock Island County. We're happy to answer any phone calls on the helpline, but it's still a local call within Scott and Rock Island. Okay. Right, and that's our area, really. You know, the number at the council is 764-7017. But if you don't have a pencil handy, call the helpline, and they'll be glad to give it to you. But that's just business hours.
Okay, that's just business hours. Okay.
Right. We don't act as a referral agency, actually, but we coordinate efforts among a lot of people like Bethany Home and various agencies here in the Quad Cities, all of the ones that are involved in helping families and children.
Okay, very good. Okay.
That's right, although anyone can report, and people can report anonymously.
Sure.
It's best to report if you feel the child's in real danger. If you think the child isn't necessarily in real danger, but that the family's under a lot of stress, personally, if you can find some common interest and befriend a member of the family, that's very helpful. But if you think the child's in danger, you can report it. And
report it to?
I have some numbers written down.
What?
There are two different ones. In Illinois, the 800 number is 1-800-252-2873. On the Iowa side, you need to call 1-800-362-2178. These are in the blue pages of your phone book, under the governmental offices section.
Under governmental offices section for the state?
For the state,
okay, okay.
That's right.
Okay, so we'll look under there.
Department of Family and Children and Family Services in Illinois, Department of Human Services in Iowa.
Okay.
Right. But if there's some question in your mind about whether it's a reportable offense, you can always call the helpline and tell them how you feel and ask them what they would advise, or call the council.
Okay.
Another way of defining it too is the lack of warmth and affection and the supervision and understanding that's necessary for a child to develop the kinds of feelings about himself or herself that Gaina mentioned. I was thinking that some of the viewers may have noticed in their churches or synagogues, the Prevention Sabbath was the very first weekend. In fact, it actually began March 31st of this month, and a lot of congregations have been kind enough to carry some of the material and help us.
Yeah, even had some sermons on it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sure, they invite us out.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Good.
You just have to look at it in the context of their family. If the family's doing the best they can under the circumstances, they might need some real assistance, clothing,
some help rather
than But if the family seems to be financially comfortable and the child is dirty and not cared for and wearing shabby clothes, then you have to question whether the child's being cared for properly.
Okay, the other one, the fourth one was?
It's more underreported than any other area. And it's the kind of thing that shows up later on. Oftentimes prostitutes report an early history of sexual abuse. And you see it in substance abuse too. All kinds of child abuse feeds into adult crime and juvenile delinquency and even mental illness. But prostitution and substance abuse, particularly with sexual abuse. The foster parents have been having a retraining session this weekend. In fact, today is the second and last day of it. And the council itself, we're sponsoring a baseball game this afternoon.
I want to come back to that. Okay. Really want to come back to that, but let's take a break.
This afternoon, there's a ball game at John O'Donnell Stadium, and everyone is invited. If you can pick up a ticket at one of the ticket outlets around the cities, it'll be free of charge for you and your family.
And Ann Adler, who is a member of the board of the CCR and also a member of the committee that is putting together No Hitters Day. So thank you both for joining us this morning.
We have the legal and financial responsibility for the work of the staff, the Council on Children at Risk. We oversee what they do. We initiate a lot of activities. Those are the main thrusts of what we do.
Okay, how big is the board?
18 people.
Professionals, non-professionals, a wide scope?
A pretty wide scope. It's a professional board in general, but we have people from lots of different areas.
Okay, how, we'll take you as a textbook case.
Right.
How'd you come to be a member of the board?
When I moved to Moline 10 years ago, I had worked in Alaska in child abuse. I have my graduate work in psychology, and I was very interested in the Parent Aid program. And I was reading the newspaper here. I had very young children, and I read about their Parent Aid program, and I rushed right down and I said, you know, tell me more about it. And then I told them a lot about what we'd done in Alaska. That was how I connected up with the council, and at the time it was better for me to join the board than to work at a job, because I wanted to be at home with my children as much as I could be. One thing that we do, and then Roy can fill you in on the clearinghouse and the kinds of things that have been in place for a long time, mostly federal, is that we're a chapter of the National Committee for the Prevention of Child Abuse. And that is a very loose network of chapters throughout the country. And there is information trading on what works where, and we see, you know, what other people are doing, and they see what we're doing, and try to adapt it to local circumstances. There's also a lot of data gathering so that we can, you know, see what's going on there. But I'm thinking about the clearinghouse, I'm thinking about...
Now we're to No Hitters Day, which is Saturday, the 26th of April, 1986.
That's right.
And what is No Hitters Day?
Okay. A little history?
Sure, a lot of history if you like.
3 years ago, Kansas City, Kansas, the first No Hitters Day at a Royals game. And a group from the community wanted to stop family violence. And they felt connecting a project with baseball was a logical move. It's a national pastime. Unless you play for Billy Martin, it's a non-violent sport.
Or unless you play for the Cards in the 7th game of the World Series.
That's right, that's right. Then you get traded. But unless you do that, it's a relatively non-violent sport. And they felt it would get the message to millions of families in a very gentle way. And the messages that the people originally in Kansas City wished to convey hasn't changed much since, was first of all to promote an awareness that there is child abuse, there is family violence in the community. Then to make people aware of their own capacity to be violent. It's something most of us wish to ignore. Then offering alternatives to rage and pointing out places in the community you can go, and eventually hoping to make individuals less violent so that child abuse would be lessened, possibly eliminated. That was how it started. The following year, 125 communities joined and had their own No-Hitters Day in their own local stadiums throughout the United States. And last year, the Quad Cities had its first No-Hitters Day at John O'Donnell Stadium. It's always the last Saturday in April. And we had 4,000 people. It was a beautiful evening. It was a lot of fun. We're going to have it this coming Saturday. People need to remember to get their tickets ahead of time, because you can get free tickets at various Quad City area businesses and restaurants that admit the family to John O'Donnell Stadium. Once there, they'll have balloons, free balloons that the Officers' Wives Club will give them. There'll be a lot of free family-type prizes, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. There's a good pre-game show, and we really appreciate the fact that you're going to be there. And Tom Cornelis.
I wasn't going to mention that, but...
There are going to be giveaways and balloons. The Girl Scouts are going to launch balloons. We have a lot of things that aren't quite finalized, so we don't, want to give them away. But it will all be a family orientation. I think it's going to get very serious when you're talking about teenage sexual offenders. No Hitters Night is a fun night, and we're just all going to come with our families and relax and enjoy the evening. Hope that it's a shutout. The Angels won last year. They're playing the Peoria Cubs this year, right? And we're hoping for 2 in a row. We wanted a no-hitter last year, didn't get it, but we're hoping this year it'll be a no-hitter, because it is No Hitters Day.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
That's right. Evening game, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
April
everything
26th.
starts.
if you don't find your free ticket at a local business or restaurant, the Quad City Times on their community page, either tomorrow or Tuesday is going to have a cutout ticket. And if you don't see that or you don't take the Times, CCR has plenty of tickets that you can pick up.
Oh, okay. And we need to fill the stadium. Get all
That's
sorts
right.
of people down here.
4,000 last year, and if everybody brings a friend, it'll...
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Any idea?
Because it is generally the last Saturday in April. Hopefully you get the best weather then. And that's still within Child Abuse Prevention Month, which is the whole month of April.
Oh, so April is Child Abuse Prevention
Month.
Oh,
Right.
well, that's an appropriate time to talk about it as well.
There's not a clear-cut answer. In fact, there's a good phone number. Do you know the helpline phone number?
757-8555.
757-8555. Okay, what do people get when they call that?
That's a warm line. They call up and they get trained counselors. And if they're worried about their own actions and their families, they can talk to someone who's trained to listen and say, you know, maybe you should take a little easy here, or maybe you're expecting a little too much of your children, or sounds like things are hard, or, you know, that kind of thing, because it's different in every case. This Saturday, April 26th,
Starting
7
at 7
p.m.
o'clock.
Tremendous pregame at 7 p.m. And a game after that, the Angels and the Cubs.
I'm looking forward to finding out what we're all going to be doing. So be there. Anyway, No Hitters Day. It's nationwide, sponsored locally by the Council on Children
Council
at
on
Risk.
Children at Risk. Right, and we're having help from the Officers' Wives Club out at the Arsenal, passing out balloons. We've had an awful lot of help from area merchants donating prizes. A lot of help from the management of John O'Donnell Stadium.
So get your tickets, and as they say on The Price is Right,
free,
come on
free.
down. Well, thank you both for joining us. We'll see you Saturday night, and hope to see you Saturday night as well, and next Sunday right here on Focus. Bye-bye.